Hello, my name is Robert James II, and I'm President and CEO of Carver Financial Corporation, America's only Black-owned multi-bank holding company. I'm also honored to serve as Chairman of the National Bankers Association, the voice of our country's minority banks for over 100 years. The abrupt failure of Silicon Valley Bank last Friday, along with Sunday's announcement of the failure of Signature Bank, sent shockwaves through the U.S. economy. Over the weekend, my phone has been blowing up, with friends and family asking me if their money is safe in any bank, especially a small bank like a minority bank. The answer is absolutely yes. Not only is your money safe in a minority bank, but banking with a minority bank has a greater impact on your community. Your money is safe in a minority bank because of the fundamentals: capital, liquidity, and diverse and secure assets. Let's look at the facts. Capital. Our banks are the best capitalized they have been at any point in U.S. history. In the past 3 years, nearly $4 billion in new permanent capital has flowed into minority banks, including over $1 billion to Black-owned banks. This additional equity capital makes minority banks stronger and far more resilient. Liquidity. Minority banks have substantial liquidity and can access additional funds from the Federal Reserve if needed. New deposits from consumers and corporations who want to make sure that their banking reflects their values have provided record high liquidity in our banks. This means we can easily meet customer demands for funds and also continue to lend in our communities to maximize our impacts. Diverse and secure assets. Unlike Silicon Valley or Signature banks, minority banks are generally diversified in terms of their lending. Whether it's loans to support small business, home ownership, or community facilities, most of our banks are very careful to balance their customer bases and their loan portfolios, thereby minimizing the risk if any one sector fails. Our banks also tend to prefer very well collateralized loans, which also lessens risk. In addition to being safe, your money has a greater impact when it's in a minority bank. Banks use deposits to make loans. Minority banks tend to lend more to minority communities and businesses than other banks. If you live in a neighborhood with a minority bank, minority home ownership and small business ownership is likely to be higher than in communities without a minority bank. For example, in 2022, 99% of Carver State Bank's loans went to African Americans or low to moderate income communities. According to a Dallas Fed study, in 2022, minority banks originate almost 4 times more mortgages to minority borrowers than other banks. I can personally attest that leaders and staffers from the Biden-Harris administration, FDIC, and Federal Reserve worked hard this weekend to make sure that the bank failures are the exception, not the rule, and that all Americans can continue to have confidence in our banking system. I also applaud bipartisan leaders in Congress, including House Financial Services Committee Chairman Patrick McHenry, Ranking Member Maxine Waters, along with Senate Banking Chairman Sherrod Brown and Ranking Member Tim Scott, for keeping stakeholders informed about how their hard-earned deposits are being kept safe. The FDIC is an insurance fund designed to make sure that deposits in American banks remain secure. Even though recent events are unsettling, the system is working. Depositors in the failed banks will be made whole, even those whose deposits are over the insured limit of $250,000. Minority banks are not only fundamentally sound, but we are rapidly upgrading our systems, products, and technology to better serve customers and maximize our impact. If you want to make sure that your money is safe and has a positive impact in the community, deposit in a minority bank.